And then you went on to become a teacher for a while, English teacher.
Yes.
And then took the path to stand-up comedy, which seems to be quite a common path. Seems like there's a lot of frustrated stand-up comedians as teachers. What's the connection there? Just standing up in front of people talking? Or?
Well, I always think that there's a rational answer to these things. I think the main thing is there's 600,000 teachers in Britain, apparently, right? Whether some are active or inactive. So I think it's as much a numbers game as anything. Like I do think that there is some sort of Venn diagram between the process of standing up in front of a group of people trying to win their trust with ideas and communicate. But equally, there's just a lot of teachers. So you get quite a lot of stand-ups who used to be doctors as well, because there are a lot of doctors. But I would say it's probably a bit more than just the statistical relationship. But I would probably say that teaching was the first time that I realised that I was a bit conservative, to be honest. There was something about the environment where I just thought, well, I'm not like them, them being other teachers.
All right. Were you a bit more of a disciplinarian than the other teachers?
Yeah, I was very strict. I mean, I'm not like that as a person, in person, but the moment you put me in front of like young kids, I just instinctively thought that's what they need me to be. They don't need a mate, they need a sort of male role model and someone they can depend on and trust and feel safe. I don't know if you've watched the show Parks and Recreation, but I became a bit like Ron. Kind of like, well, you need you need woodwork skills. And, I just thought there were so many of these boys there and a lot of them, didn't have dads around and stuff. And I thought they just need really basic things. I mean, that is the sort of, and it informed a lot for me because you get a certain amount of platitudes on the left, which are about teenagers are amazing. Let them vote. I mean, I was at one school where they let teenagers sit in on an interview panel for a new appointment, which I just thought was ridiculous. But I thought, no, it wasn't that long ago that they were really little kids, and it can fool you because they can be quite tall, or they could have developed and gone through puberty and stuff. But you go, no, they still are not far from that creature that needed managing in almost every situation. So I kind of responded to that, and that was probably, when I talk about where did I go right, that was probably the start of the drift.
So do you have a view on educational policy? Are you a fan of the Michaela School and that kind of more old-fashioned way of running things?
All I can say is that and the most informative bit of teaching that I did was when I did supply while I was doing stand-up. So you get to see loads of different schools and loads of different systems, and the best schools for working class kids were the strict ones, so it's a real privilege to sit there and go, well, why do we still have uniforms in 2022, or ask these questions. Go, no, look, hands down, the rougher the area, the stricter the school should be, I would say, because the school needs to be like a sanctuary for those kids. I did one of my teacher training placements in Brixton, and everyone always says, oh dear, I bet that was a bit rough, but the school was really strict, and the kids loved it there because it was it was quite a safe, I mean, like in the real meaning of the word, a safe space for them. So yeah, it did make me realize that, some of the old stuff that people say is true. The things that I always thought were cliches or conservative platitudes, you go, oh, this stuff's there for a reason.
Well, if you enjoyed that conversation, why not watch one of these other videos? And while you're here, remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way, you'll never miss out on a single IEA broadcast.